Sometimes yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad?
You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you jackwagon!
Well, that's what the New York Giants need. This is Tim, this New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Getting over the cold. You know what? It wasn't a cold. The Giants just made me sick on Sunday. We have the NFL trade line at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. That's the deadline. New York Giants, will they make some moves? Will they move on from Azeez Ojulari? Will they move on from Darius Slayton, who are on the final years of their respective contracts? Lord knows, because Joe Schoen just doesn't seem to like to part with players that he's going to lose anyways and get assets, because that would just be fucking crazy. Hey-oh. This team is just interesting. I think Kayvon Thibodeau has shown a little bit more of his chops with Azeez Ojulari in the game than he has with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau will likely be back after the bye week. So, what do you get? The Cardinals acquired, Baron Browning from the Broncos for a 6th-round pick. I could see the Giants getting a 6th or a 7th-round pick for Azeez Ojulari. I really can. It's the same with Darius Slayton. I don't think you're going to break the bank on him. I think you get maybe a 6th-round pick that could be a 5th-round pick depending on his performance. But if we're honest, Darius Slayton is a possibly 3rd or 4th wide receiver on a good team. On a good playoff team that has a wide receiving core, he's at least a 3rd or a 4th option. But outside the trade deadline, I think the biggest thing we need to look at is what the Giants are going to do vis-a-vis against the Carolina Panthers in Germany. What Brian Daboll is going to do. Where is he going to go? It's time, Brian. You got to strap him up.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you.
What?
You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
It's time to put the big boy pants on, Brian. It's time to get control of your team. I love the fact that you bench Banks for a perceived lack of effort, but you kind of allow Malik Neighbors to pal around with his former college teammate. Talk about how he is a good quarterback. Do all those Odell Beckham things. I know it made a lot of people upset, some of his comments that he made after the game, Neighbors. But he's not wrong. It's a difference between, we talk about Kayvon Thibodeau and how he likes to pontificate and how he likes to speak in truths. The only problem is you got a wide receiver 9 games into his career figuring out that Daniel Jones is not the guy. Figuring it out. He's already figured it out, and he's looking around going,
but that's okay. Remember, there are no stupid questions, just stupid people.
That there is this idiocy that surrounds this organization, and it's known as Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll and John Mara, who have taken their eggs and put them all into the Daniel Jones basket. The only problem with this, the Daniel Jones basket is empty. It has spilled over a long time ago. The big bad wolf has already eaten Meaton. I can't even talk today. The big bad wolf has already eaten Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother.
That's what she said.
The basket is empty. It's year 6. And all the people that defended Daniel Jones last week, you're just purely fucking idiots. 4 for 6, 0 yards and a touchdown. Technically, the passing stats with the sacks are -8 yards. We had -8 yards passing in the first half. It doesn't matter what you do between the 20s. You have to put the ball in the end zone. People say, well, he put the ball in the end zone. Yeah, but you need to do it consistently. You can't be one drive Danny like you always are. And just watching that sack repeatedly, that fumble, you could see he sensed no pressure. None. Nothing. Eli Manning used to go down like he was shot when a guy would come around the corner like that. Daniel Jones just sits there and takes the sack. He has no feel for this game. None. We've talked about it before, how he's a point guard that can't create his own shot. And there's been plenty of those in the league. He just has no feel, no understanding, no thought process. How many times have we seen him audible or check out of plays? How many times have we seen him put players in the position to be successful? And how many times have we seen him throw people into contact? Throwing it over the wrong shoulder, putting it low when it should have been high, putting it 3 yards ahead of the wide receivers instead of 2 yards behind them. Having a wide receiver twist and contort their entire body to come back and make a catch, falling down backwards, and then when they don't make the catch, it wasn't Daniel Jones' fault. It was the wide receiver's fault. It was a drop. It's just, we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, we've seen the idiocy. And the idiocy now has reached a crescendo where we just you have players now that are 21st century players such as Malik Neighbors, who came in here to do a job, who you have targeted ad nauseum, but he's getting no yak. He's supposed to be that big play guy. He's supposed to be that guy that has the speed. He's that guy that is going to split the defense. He's the guy that's going to do everything he needed to do to save Daniel Jones' career and make him a superstar. Again, this is Daniel Jones's year, according to our idiot general manager. But then you look at his stats. Yeah, he's got 55 receptions, but it's only 10.1 yards and only 3 touchdowns. I mean, his yards per target is just incredibly low. Why? Because this is just what we do. This is our passing game. This is how we do these things. His yards after the catch is only 3.5. His yards before the catch, which means the amount of time the ball travels in the air to him, is 6. So you're throwing the ball to him 6 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he's only getting an additional 3.5 yards on the yak. That's not good. Marvin Harrison Jr., who was taken before Malik, only has 28 receptions, but he's got 454 yards, 15.9 yards reception. He's got a long pass to 60 and 5 touchdowns. Think about that. And he's in an offense with Kyler Murray where Kyler Murray came out and said, my job is not to get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. He specifically came out and said that, which I thought was kind of stupid considering the fact that they got him so you could have a deep threat wide receiver. He's only been targeted 55 times. Think about that for a minute. His yards, though, after the catch is over 8. That's what we need to look at. His yards after the catch is 8. That means he's getting a minimum of 8 yards after the catch. But we can't say that with Daniel Jones. His yards before catch per reception is 14.1. That means he is 14 yards down the field before he gets the ball. Malik is 6. Even Malik sees what's going on here. Do I agree with the rookie pontificating and running his mouth? No, I don't agree with that. You're a rookie. I've said this before. I jokingly told people by week 6 he was going to ask for a trade. That was a joke. I don't know anymore. I mean, he's not going to be traded, of course. I think, and it all goes to the head coach. It all goes to his misunderstanding of, I think at times, game planning or the flow of the game, or maybe he just has a misunderstanding completely, Brian Daboll does, of situational awareness. He may have been a good offensive coordinator, but all his success came with Josh Allen. He's the 21st century Joe Bugel. Joe Bugel, architecture of the Hogs. He was the offensive line coach back in the 79 upset with the Houston Oilers over the San Diego Chargers, led by Dan Fouts. He worked with Earl Campbell. He made Leon Gray a all-pro tackle. He went over to the Redskins where he was the offensive coordinator and the assistant head coach and then the line coach. At that time, Joe Bugel, Redskin team back in 83, had a then NFL record of 541 points. During his tenure there, he had 4,000-yard rushers, 1 4,000-yard quarterback, and 9,000-yard receivers. He participated in 3 Super Bowl, 6 conference championships, and 24 playoffs. What does he do? He gets a head coaching job. Arizona Cardinal, there for 4 years. Flames out. Best season, 7-9. Has success with the Raiders, again, as an assistant head coach. Gets promoted to head coach, flames out again. He was a better offensive coordinator and offensive line coach than he was ever a head coach. He's got a 24-56 record that time. Joe Bugel does. Brian Daboll is heading down the same path. I mean, you take a look at Brian Daboll's record. You take a look outside that 7-2 start. He's 17-25-1. I mean, you've reached a point where you have to kind of say we need to look at Brian Daboll the way he is. 9-7, 6-1, 6-11, excuse me, 2-7. I just don't think he understands the flow. I don't think he understands the process. I just don't think he gets it. People are going to talk about, well, you know, he had the first ranked offense in 2021, the 5th and the 10th in 20 and 19. Yeah, but before that and before Josh Allen, think about this. Going back to 18, when he was an offensive coordinator, year before Allen, he had 20. The offense was ranked 28th. When he was the offensive coordinator in Kansas City, his offense was ranked 31st. Miami that one year was 24th. Then in Cleveland, the first year in Cleveland was 29th. The next year was 15th. He doesn't have a rounding success outside of Josh Allen. Can we just admit it now? And like I said, I've always had that man crush on Brian Daboll. But now that man crush is just leaving us. Does he get fired if they lose to Carolina? If the Giants come out of Germany 2-8, I think you got to fire him. I do. Daboll has got to pull a fossil this Sunday.
I'm raising the stakes right now. This is a poker game. I'm shoving my chips to the middle of the table. I'm raising the ante. Anybody wants in, get in. Anybody wants out, can get out.
He's got to do everything humanly possible to win this game on Sunday. He's got to go for it on 4th down. He has got to go if he's got 4th and 2 from the 2 in his own, in his opponent end zone, he's got to go for it. He's got to do everything. He's got to bring the house. He's got to do everything humanly possible to win this game, because if he doesn't win this game, I think he should be gone. And I know you keep saying, well, you can't keep changing coaches. The Giants have gotten demonstratively worse since that 7-2 start. You go 7-2, finish 2-5-1. And since that 7-2 start, you've won 13 games. You've won 13 games since then. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. No, you didn't win 13. You had 8. You won 10 games. What am I saying? You've won since that 7-2 start. I can't do math today. I still have my cold. But since that 7-2 start, you've won 10 games since the middle of 2022 going into 2024. You've won 10 games. That's not good. You seem to have lost the locker room. You seem to have lost the players. You got your star wide receiver having a good time with the opponent's quarterback during the game, in the middle of the game, at the end of the game. Your offensive play calling, I don't know what to call you right now, because you're not the boy wonder anymore. Not even close. Not even close. You basically had the 32nd ranked offense last year, and during your good season, you had the 24th ranked offense. It's time, guys. It's time to break it down. But I don't even know if Joe Shane is the answer to anything. And that's something we're going to talk about after the trade deadline. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun going up to Sunday. We might even stream the game a little bit. Don't forget, this is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell, because you want to know why. That'd be awesome.